One of the topics of conversation that's been pretty hot the last little while has continued to be the Black Adam project, a film that a lot of people, including me, would have put money on being a contender to be $1 billion film not all that long ago. Ended up kind of being a bit of a disappointment. It didn't even make $400 million at the box office. At least the last I checked, I don't think it hit $400 million at the box office. While I liked the film, I didn't love it. I certainly had issues with it. It wasn't as well received, I think, as they were kind of hoping it would be. And you had the biggest movie star in the world, my second favorite movie star in the world, only behind Ryan Reynolds, is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, I always talk about how winning cures everything, and it does. But when losing happens, a lot of fingers start to get pointed. It's a feast or famine business. It just is. When things are going well and things are great, everybody overlooks all the problems. But when something goes wrong, everybody has a finger to point. And unfortunately, a lot of fingers have been pointed at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself. First of all, about maybe there were some stories going around about the way he handled the behind the scenes negotiations of the thing, how he tried to maybe, according to some reports, tried to muscle his will into existence at DC, that some say he even tried to make a play to take over DC and all that kind of stuff. And there was some criticisms there. However, in a new report coming out of the Wrap, they're saying that maybe the failure of Black Adam and the new Shazam film maybe squarely falls on Dwayne Johnson's massively impressive shoulders. That maybe he kind of torpedoed and sabotaged a couple of the plans that DC had and the way they wanted to handle Shazam and the way they wanted to handle Black Adam, and that maybe Dwayne Johnson himself was directly responsible for cutting them off at the knees. This comes to us from the folks at Screen Rant, referring to that article in the Wrap. They said this. Now, the Wrap put some of the blame for Shazam 2's failure at Dwayne Johnson's feet, as the Black Adam star reportedly vetoed ideas that would have seen Zachary Levi's Shazam cameo in the Black Adam post-credit scene, or Justice Society characters appearing in Shazam Fury of the Gods post-credit scene. Now, remember, we talked yesterday how the director of Shazam Fury of the Gods said that right up to 3 days before they started shooting, Justice Society was supposed to show up. And it was 3 days before they started shooting that they found out that had been torpedoed. Now, when we talked about that and when he quoted that, nobody said why it was torpedoed. According to this, Dwayne Johnson torpedoed it. Anyway, we keep reading on here. The Rock reportedly wanted the DC extended universe to revolve around him and Henry Cavill's Superman, and Shazam was not a part of his plan. Shazam 2 producer Peter Safran attempted to reuse the scrapped Black Adam idea, only for Dwayne Johnson to step in and prevent any Justice Society characters from appearing, resulting in Peacemaker characters being used instead. All right. Now, as a producer of Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson probably had negotiated rights that he could veto certain things like that about characters that were used in his movie and all that kind of stuff. Now, it should be said here that while this story is coming from one of the big outlets, being the Wrap, it should be noted that we still need to take it with a slight grain of salt. We haven't heard Dwayne Johnson's side of this. And I don't know, maybe Dwayne Johnson won't say anything. Maybe that's exactly the way it happened. Or maybe Dwayne Johnson will come out and say, whoa. I did not do that. And I did not say that. So we'll talk about the story as it's presented to us, but just keep in mind there may be another side to this story that we'll have to take into consideration later. That being said, the question comes up, Black Adam, even for those people who do know who Black Adam was, and you could make a lot of arguments that not a lot of people knew who Black Adam was. It's a pretty unknown character amongst average filmgoers. He was still a secondary character to Shazam, who himself is kind of a secondary character. And it caught people as being very odd that you would do a Shazam movie, the first one, and do a Black Adam movie, and the two never met. The two are inseparable. Black Adam and Shazam. It's like yin and yang. It's like, I don't know, Superman and Lex Luthor. It's like Batman and Joker. I mean, that's the yin and the yang. It's Shazam and Black Adam. Now, look, I get it. We talked about this last year sometime. I kind of get it. Dwayne Johnson didn't want the Black Adam character to just be seen as a sub character to Shazam. I respect that. I get that. But I got to imagine there probably would have been some creative ways to introduce Black Adam in Shazam, or introduce Black Adam in Shazam 2 and then have Black Adam come out after Shazam 2. I don't know. But look, the notion of, I'll say this, blaming Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for the failure of Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods, even if this report is true and he's the one who single-handedly torpedoed the post-credit scene appearances, what are we talking about here? Does anybody really think, like, the Justice Society showing up in Shazam 2's post-credit scene, does anybody think that would have saved the movie?
No.
Does anybody think that, oh, you know what? Whirly Girl and Atom Smasher showed up in the post-credit scene of Shazam 2. Woo! Instead of $30 million, it made $230 million in opening weekend. It wouldn't have changed anything.
Those people didn't know what was in the post-credit scene when they saw it.
Exactly. Until, I mean, they probably would have put it in the trailers because they started putting Wonder Woman in the commercials for the things, for heaven's sakes. But, I mean, it's not, and then if Shazam had showed up at the end of Black Adam instead of, say, Henry Cavill Superman, does anybody think that that would have changed Black Adam's fate from making $390 million to making $890 million? No. So look, do I believe the story that maybe Dwayne Johnson personally torpedoed these crossover cameos? It fits, so I kind of believe it until I hear from Dwayne otherwise. But the point is, even if true, would it have made that big of a difference? Would it have suddenly turned the fate of either of these movies around? And if you say no, then how can we say that Dwayne Johnson is responsible for the failure of Shazam? Or Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods? So I kind of believe the story. I just don't see how that makes it his fault.
Right.
I don't know, Jonathan, you hear about, look, we hear a lot of stories about power plays in Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. Like, does some of the responsibility and blame for this lie with Dwayne Johnson?
I think, again, it's like what you said. The story might be true, but then you can't place blame on a movie's failure because of that.
Of a post-credit scene.
The drama might have happened, but that didn't cause the box office to drop in the film. What happened was a fracturing of their business dealings, but not the failing of Shazam 2. No.
I don't know, guys. Question is, what do you think about this? According to the Wrap, it was Dwayne Johnson who torpedoed those crossover ideas, but they seemed, unless we're missing something, like it was pretty small stuff that I don't think impacted the success or failure of either Black Adam or Shazam Fury of the Gods. So I don't know. What do you think? Is Dwayne Johnson responsible for all the failures, or is it really inconsequential? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.